back when the Affordable Care Act was being debated, and I wasn't in Congress then, so I approached this just as an historian, there were multiple complaints from the GOP members about how fast things were going, how the legislation was being rammed through. For example, our now Speaker, Paul Ryan, said about the AHCA, Congress is moving fast to rush through a health care overhaul that lacks a key ingredient, he said, the full participation of you, the American people. Greg Walden, the Energy and Commerce Chairman from Oregon, said, on a bill of this significance, you would think we would at least allow people to come in who are affected by the extraordinary changes in this bill and have a chance to let us know how it affects them. And the Ways and Means Committee Chairman today, Kevin Brady, said the Democratic Congress and White House simply aren't listening. Democrats are ramming it through over the public's objections. Well, let's go back and look at how long it took the Democrats to get the Affordable Care Act passed and how much public participation and debate there really was. Here in Congress, there were 79 hearings. I repeat, 79 hearings on the Affordable Care Act. There were 100 witnesses, both expert witnesses and members of the public, citizens coming to testify about the need for expanded health insurance coverage for the American people because of the high expenses of health insurance and the rip-offs of various insurance companies. And there were multiple scores that were received from the Congressional Budget Office during that time, as there was constant attention to the budgetary and fiscal implications of the Affordable Care Act. Now, fast forward to today. We took a year and a half to get to the Affordable Care Act. How about them? Well, let's see. The Republicans introduced their bill on Monday. They passed their bill in the dead of night at 4:30 in the morning, 3 days later. There have been no hearings on the bill. There have been no witnesses to testify on the bill. There have been no expert witnesses. There have been no witnesses from the public. There is no analysis from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office on how much the bill will cost American taxpayers, American citizens on their plans, or how many Americans will lose their health care at all. In other words, the party that complained about how fast the Affordable Care Act came into being, which was over the course of a year and a half with dozens of hearings and dozens, more than 100 witnesses, and lots of public debate where we went back to our districts and had town hall meetings where there was orchestrated opposition against the plan, but we still stood there and we engaged in the dialogue and we stood up for the Affordable Care Act. The people who said that that was too fast are now ramming through at unprecedented, breakneck, lightning speed a bill that will wreak devastation on the health care rights of the American people. That's what's taking place. If you've got a contaminated, clandestine, secret, closed process, it will produce a terrible, undemocratic, and unhealthy result. And that's what